Welcome, everyone. We're going to be playing Transformers Universe today. I'm charting out as a medic character Triage. Right here you'll see he's the big blue guy over there. One of the things I want to let you know about this game is it is not an MMORPG. You're not going to be going through stories, you're not going to develop your character. This is a MOBA, but don't think anything like League of Legends or Dota, because you're not going to be clicking around to move your character. You'll actually be driving around through the city. That said, keep in mind that it does work very much like a MOBA. You know, each of these heroes here, that you unlock them through either paying money or you can unlock them in-game, which is something Jagex has done, that you can do it for free. It will just take a very long amount of time. Each of these characters has 3 weapons. Some of them are melee, some of them actually heal your allies instead, but each weapon also has its own S-Tech ability. So you click to fire, but you also use the mouse button to click the scroll wheel. Once you click that, it'll use your S-Tech ability, which, depending on the weapon, can either heal for a burst amount, push them back in this case, or do a bunch of other different effects. One of the things I really like about Triage and the healer classes in general is they give you a lot of things to do. There are cosmetic options for this game. Mostly they're just resprays giving you different colors. You can tune your character. It has its own talent system. I'm putting heals into my healer right now. You can see why anyone would do that. And on the right you'll see that they have 3 main options here. You'll have different cooldowns. This is the in-game store engineering part where you can build items. Mining probes and repair packs are the ones you might want to start with, but these augments are temporary bonuses that give you for a long time. Mining probes are nice because they help you get more energon in a shorter amount of time, and the repair packs help you respawn instead of spending instant money. That said, the relics you do get periodically, or you can buy more to get all these instantly instead of the half an hour it'll take to build this. So back to the barracks, you've got a lot of different heroes at the bottom here. Commanders, soldiers. This guy's sort of like the heavy DPS character, does a lot of damage, can take out guys pretty quickly. And the nice thing is by double clicking you can check out their vehicle mode. I really like the cars, the trucks, they've done a pretty decent job at. I'm really not sure whether they're gonna have some flyers soon. That would be great. So these are the big guys. The big guys usually have very high health, very high armor, usually a melee weapon or 2. Their entire job is to take the damage while the rest of the team takes them down. That said, people usually play these because of their high survivability and the big fancy weapons, so try not to assume that they're too good at what they're doing. The game is in beta, so people are still learning. The respray options are kind of lackluster. I kind of wish they had other types of customizations, but I'm sure since this is in beta, this will happen in time. This is a neat character, not a whole lot to him. Catapult is one of the female Autobots. Definitely, hopefully there's more to come. A lot of neat options as far as that goes. Frontline, another big guy, pretty nice. Always like the truck vehicle modes. That says the scaling probably seems a little weird. Meltdown is somebody I definitely want to unlock in time. He's a healer bot as well. That said, got some great colors there. Really like the style. Reminds me of Ratchet from Transformers Prime. Showdown, huge bot, huge axe, probably huge cannons as well, but is also a monster truck. I can see people shelling out quite a bit of coin for this one. Sparkscape is a newer character out. Again, a nice little roadster over here. Not a whole lot of choices as far as sprays goes, but again, hoping that'll happen more in time. And there's really a whole lot to do in this game. You know, even though it's a MOBA, there still is an open world component that you will be spending a lot doing. But now I'm just hoping to show you a bit of gameplay with Triage in a moment. So this is the open world. This is where you'll be getting a lot of your energon. You can get a fair bit of relics from missions. Every vehicle has its own weapon, though not all of them work this way. Most of the cars can only shoot forwards, whereas the healers and machinists usually work as a turret. You can press V to get this open. It explains some of your abilities, but it doesn't go quite into the detail that someone like to really explain what's going on. In your vehicle mode, as a healer, if you press 4, you can heal yourself. And the consumable at the right is anything you can equip you want. So right now there's a mission going on, and you can heal people, but that's not going to help too much in the beginning when you kind of just want to get these guys down. Your first weapon is pretty decent against shields and spark. The shields are the blue bar and spark is the red bar. Different weapons will have different proficiency against these types of health that the enemies have, or even your friends have. If you want to help someone out, you know, if they're up against heavy shield damage, healing them will do a lot to help that against enemies who don't do a lot of shield damage. A lot of these guys, you'll see them just hitting everything around here, but switching weapons does add a lot to the combat. You'll be able to use the right kind of damage. Yellow numbers are crits, and just the more shots you can do, different weapons have different advantages. You'll notice here that the two little lines there is the S-Tech gauge. S-Tech is when you click the mouse wheel, it gives you an extra ability or boost depending on what you have. For the healing gun, it just gives you a straight flat bit of healing right away, which is really handy. I really like exploring the open world. The driving can be a little clunky at times, but it's really fun and really nice to be as a transformer in the open world. Up on the mini-map, you'll see where the enemies are. There are lots of different outposts that let you deposit your energon or go back to switch characters. There'll be a lot more missions in time, but we're actually right by a ground bridge on the mini-map. I don't think you'll be able to see somebody standing right near it, but the ground bridges actually let you see other missions, so I'm hoping they'll open up the world a lot more. I'm hoping they'll actually make it so huge that, you know, you'll be able to fly around or see huge areas. And I'm really, yeah, there's the ground bridge there in the background. But you heal people. The healing gun does overheat, so you will need to wait a second while it charges down. It makes healing in intense situations very stressful, because sometimes you'll just watch people die. You do have cooldowns. When you're healing regularly, you'll want to press some of your abilities to help making healing easier. Consumables also do this. You can also scan for energon by pressing 7. This will look for deposits, and since there's a deposit right here, you just walk up to it and press F to activate your probe. I've got one of the bigger probes that you get from engineering, and while you're mining for energon, terracons will spawn. This is a great time to learn how to use your character and how to really beef up the effectiveness. I find these pistols just powerful overall, but switching weapons to use their S-Tech can be better than using the S-Tech of the weapon you're using sometimes. You'll notice here I've just activated this barrier ability. This increases the chance of everything to miss. Number 6, most characters have it. It actually deflects most incoming damage, so it's not something you'd want to use at the same time. Ironhide here is giving us missions. It's really nice to be out in the open world and meeting up with people that you may not even be grouped with. There's a lot you can do here, and even the ground bridge over there opens to a new instance with a ton of terracons, and it's a lot harder than what this is. Every time you deposit your energon, it goes up from the bar under your minimap up until the place on the top right of your screen, which is where you'll access your engineering. You'll see there are a lot of people here who need healing, but people who really need healing have a little wrench and a green circle around their head. Sometimes it's hard to target people. It's something you kind of just have to be patient with. I hope they'll eventually have an ability to cycle through targets. I would opt to do it through tab, but that's something that they're probably still tuning, finding out what they can do best. S-Tech is a really nice way for healers to bring up health bars fast. S-Tech will have either a 1 or a 2, and maybe some weapons will have higher numbers, but it's basically a trade-off between using it right away or using it later. The nice thing about scouting for energon is anybody can pretty much join up. That way you easily kill the enemies and you can both benefit from it. That said, there is a finite amount of energon in these spots, so people might not like you taking it from them. I really liked grouping up with this guy for a bit. Open world, there's even though there is a functioning party system, the rewards are fairly distributed even when you're just out in the open world. If you do an objective, your relic bar in the top right will award you a relic for doing a certain amount of objective. Relics really are the in-game money currency, so you actually are getting a tangible benefit from doing these things. That said, it is a very slow pace and very hard to get that many relics. You do get 10 per level. So 100 of the relics I've just got have been from levels alone, but I'm not sure yet if there is a max level to this game. I'm not sure if this is something they want to just continue or keep going. The terracons are interesting. They're really, like, the small guys really aren't heavy, but if you have a bunch of them in a room, they can really gang up on your healers and they will rip them apart. one of the things I think people really need to start realizing in this game is that you can't ignore too many enemies. The nice thing is a lot of the big guys have a lot of features for taunting or getting the attention of the smaller guys. Sometimes damage is usually just enough to do it. So as a healer, you might want to just stand back. And energon shields do recharge over time. Now I'm about to engage these guys, and I was hoping that the big guy could get their attention, but they're really going to just keep hitting me this entire time. One of the things is, this is what will basically happen in PvP. You'll be trying to heal the big guy and everybody will be targeting you, and it is very difficult as a healer to stay alive in these situations. You really want to find a way to set yourself up so that he's between you and them. That said, this guy really didn't seem to be getting that going very well, so I was actually healing him even though I couldn't do much to save myself. In PvP, this is a great idea. In the open world, not so much. You probably just want to get away and find someone else who actually is doing something to help you. That said, he's doing a bit of a better job now that he knows I have no shields. If you press E, you can use a temporary energon shield. It does help, but getting out of there is so much more effective. You get nitro boosts by right-clicking, and you can just get out of there fast. And in the open world, there's already so much to do. There's everything going on. It really does feel like a battleground, and it's really hard to get bored while doing it. You are doing a bit of the same thing, but it is a little different every time. They shake up the missions a little bit, and it's always nice to have. I really enjoy this game, and I'm hoping to give you more guides and updates and things I find. If you like this video, please rate and subscribe, and feel free to send a comment, tell us what you think. Do you like this game? What heroes do you like? Do you want to hear anything else?